a huge hit.
Oh, that's an absolute cracker.
Betway SA20 bringing you the best in cricket talent. By the end of this week, we'll be past the halfway mark.
We're ready to go here. Oh, that's gone a long way.
Majestic.
That is big.
Sweet.
What a shot. That is fantastic.
There's an edge there.
Oh, my goodness me.
Fielder didn't even move a muscle.
Got him.
Bone him. Oh, that's a beauty. That is a magnificent catch.
Oh, he didn't catch that.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Inside Edge Reloaded. We're doing a quick recap on all things Betway SA20. We'll be looking at great performances from the players as well as the teams. And to unpack what we can expect in this episode and a whole lot more, of course, I'm joined by Henry Davis. Should I greet you in Afrikaans? Goeiemorgen. Hoe gaan dit?
Dit gaan baie goed, baie dankie.
Goed, dankie. And right next to Henry, of course, it is Nono Pongolo. Unjani Nono?
Oh, I was hoping that you also namuzanibingelela kanye uthethise ngesixhosa. So enkosi lisego.
Unjani, right?
Siyaphila unjani sis?
No, I'm all good. I'm so excited to be here. Usually you guys are usually in studio and I am the new one today. So I'm looking forward to chatting to you guys and talking all things Betway SA20. So without wasting time, let's go straight into it. No. Just your recap on how this week has unfolded as far as SA20 is concerned.
Yeah, we generally talk of day 3 in a test match as a moving day. You'll say this week, week 3 of the Betway SA20, it was a moving week for a lot of the sides, and you'll feel that, Paul Roy's a team that probably just emphasized their points on top of the table, sitting well on top of the table. But the team from Gqeberha really making the moves, moving from probably, mid-table to low part of the table, 9 points this week. So it's really important, for some of the teams to ensure that they keep moving in the right direction. We always talk about momentum.
Nono speaks about Paul Royals. They've been playing well. What has stood out for you, especially with that team?
I think it's the balance that they've got. They've got players that's in form, batting, bowling. I think there's about 3 batters in the top 6. Leading run scorers, obviously, and then the bowlers coming to the party. It's just a lovely way of play that they're bringing to the Betway SA20, and again, they put in the right stuff on board, basically.
And it looks like a very balanced side, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is. And I think what's exciting for me is how they've really done well in their home conditions. I mean, I keep saying it's easy to always play in Paarl. It's easy to play Wanderers. Excuse me, it's easy to play in Pretoria because that's the easy ground. Even HE, it is, I'm not going to call his age out. He can rock up and still bat well. But I think what's been difficult is someone who comes from the Paarl area, and you have to do a lot of adapting.
Yeah.
We know the boundary count is not that high, and it's about the tactics, okay? You attack the power play, which we all know is important, but what do you do outside of that power play? And I think there's been no better example in this tournament, someone like Joe Root, who's played it really well, but again, we can't forget about Luandro Pretorius in terms of the starts that he's given to the side.
And I want us to talk about Paarl Royals. I mean, they are the first team to ever incorporate 5 spinners. 20 overs of spin in a match, Henry.
It's unknown. It's South Africa. We still play in South Africa, basically. Look, it's, again, Nono mentioned, like asking what they bring, but conditions-wise. I think they play to the point. They know what to bring, not a big boundary count, but running hard. One of the players mentioned, like, planning. Obviously, you need to plan precisely how you want to go about how you structure your games. They mentioned running between the wickets, hitting pockets. Yeah. There won't be a lot of sixes. There will be obviously with the wind and where the shorter boundaries are on the day, but they've been perfect. They've been to the point.
And you know, there's a particular player, Joe Root, who runs well between the wickets. Right, Nono?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what Joe Root brings. I think the partnership, first of all, with Luandro Pretorius is a good one. But as soon as Luandro Pretorius is out, I think he's taken upon himself to obviously take it forward. The shots that he plays proper cricket shots. I can't emphasize the point of playing good cricket shots. You got lucky in this occasion because it was a Herschel Gibb type moment. But again, you take your luck. I think he's been in fine form in the tournament, which is really good. But again, for me, he plays spin well. You often look at the low dot ball count when you think about Joe Root. If you're someone like Henry Davids who loves hitting boundaries and being on strike, he rotates strike, he gives you the opportunity to be on strike. So that's what's really been important about him, how he holds his innings together.
Yeah. David Miller. I need you to speak about David Miller.
Again, exceptional, great captaincy. The way he's leading the Paul Roy's basic, and he looks like he's more calmer. Maybe that's what married life brings to David Miller. You know, he looks a lot more calmer. When it comes, it takes time. They're also very versatile when it comes to who to send in when. You know, I think that's what makes them very, very good so far. They've got the top two in Pretorius and Root. Miller is their seventh, I think. Strike at 134. You'd expect it to be higher, but he's a clever cricketer now. He's obviously very, very experienced. He can play different situations. He can adapt. He can play a runner ball, but he's also bludgeoner when needed. And again, that's the experience that he brings. People know when Dave Miller bats for 10 balls, you're going to be under the pump because he's going to put you under pressure.
Let's lean on that experience. I mean, the experience of Paul Royals, Joe Root, we spoke about him, David Miller, that experience, that's so important because we've seen Paul Royals top the log.
I think, like you said, the importance of having a good start in Paul is important, but also Henry speaks about the importance of experience now, because at times when you've lost those two up top, it doesn't require someone experienced like David Miller to just hold things together. He played a very good knock at one point where he held himself back and then he does explode. He brings that aura anyways, where bowlers are scared of him. And when he's set, I mean, he hit 102 meter 6 the other day in Paul. And I mean, as a bowler, that is massive. So it just shows for me how he has grown, because also to be playing in Paul and adapted really well, playing in those difficult conditions, because it is the most difficult ground in the country, but how he's adapted for me and still decent strike rate, but also adjusting to whatever the team requires of him.
And someone that I feel is adjusting is Luthos Pamla, late incorporation in the Joburg Super Kings, and he has been bowling exceptionally well.
And the good thing, obviously, he came from the disappointment not being picked, taking a wicket of a no ball, the first one. But also, you know, what it brings for me is he keeps it basic. There's not a lot of different thing that he's trying to do. He's playing at the Wanderers with a little bit of assistance for the bowlers, but he's trying to hit a good length. And we talk about batsmanship as well. You need to keep it simple. You need to have a strong foundation. With the bowler, exactly the same. You can't just go in and bowl bounces, try to bowl Yorkers. You still need to find your rhythm, obviously quicker rather than later. But as you keep it basic, keep it simple, hit hard lengths, and you always need bursts. It doesn't matter what the wicket are like, basically. Keep it, again, good lengths, almost test match cricket lengths. Yeah. That's going to make you successful.
No one knows coming in a tournament later than me or coming as a substitute than me. Henry, if you remember the tournament from Auckland Park, we're not going to mention the name. You know, it's difficult because you first have to settle into a team environment. And I think not only did he just quickly become welcomed into the side, I think the other thing was he was given the first game immediately. And you really do need to know your game really well. He's entrusted with a new ball. And how he's bowled in terms of lines and lengths for me, it's unfortunate he's lost, a couple of wickets to no balls. But I think what's important for me is the starts that he gives. I mean, you get 3-4 wickets in the power play in any game. It does blow most teams away. But, you know, when you look at the order, Marco Jansen, you're looking at guys from Afghanistan who are doing really well in this order, in this tournament. But for me, I think the standouts, Gleeson, Marco Jansen, Batman, they've been absolutely outstanding. We always speak about bowlers winning tournaments, and at the moment, Sunrisers bowlers are really kind of trying to wrestle that tournament back for the Sunrisers Eastern Cape.
Let's stick with the Sunrisers bowlers. I mean, Jansen has been playing exceptionally well. He's also showing his experience as a bowler.
Yeah, we know that he's probably, one of the best bowlers in the power play in this tournament, and it's about the starts. We always mention the starts, and I think he's young. You see him in the rising star list, but he's like, this guy is, he's played quite a lot of international cricket. But for me, the continuous growth from Jansen is important. And again, South Africa will require more of him. I love that his pace is back, and of course his control is second to none now.
How much does his height play when it comes to his pace?
It's tough. As a batter for a guy, the ball basically comes from 3 meters high as well, you know. And it doesn't matter what the wicket plays like. It can be low, it can be slow, it can be steep bounce. It just brings something different because you can't just stand and hit with the line because the normal length will be an uncomfortable length for a short guy like me.
Yeah.
You know, but what Nono mentioned now is his control. It's been exceptional. We see the World Cup last year where he struggled a bit. He took a break, he got stronger. Since the Test match series, he just went from strength to strength to strength. We saw that wicket there. Sometimes when things go your way, you do get wickets where you bowl a bad ball. But he's bowled more good balls than bad balls throughout the whole tournament.
Just the wicket and how it has been playing. I mean, we've been quite surprised because we haven't been seeing over 200 plus scores, right?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we don't always get used to seeing big scores, but we're seeing tight games. I mean, really, 40 degrees in the Western Cape this week, but you still had a really good score, 140s, 150s, and still being good contests.
Mm-hmm. Just give me a comment about Faf du Plessis. I mean, he played his 400th T20 match.
And he's 40 years old as well.
Yeah, but he's got muscles. He's got muscles of a youngster.
He does. He works hard. Look, he's the ultimate professional. I had the privilege of playing with him, under him, with him being a leader. Just the professionalism, basically, knowledge of the game and the calmness he brings. People see, obviously, the guy running around. He loves his tight shirt. You know, I always say he
just
wears
like you, by the way.
Just like me, we wear our little brother's clothes. But he works. You know, he works hard. He just loves, I say something like to show off, but you need to get yourself into that position to show off. That means behind closed doors where he does the extra bit, does the run, does the gym work. That's why he can still play. He's 40 years old. He's running around like you said, 20-year-old, doing the business in the field, leading from the front when it comes to, well, besides the bat, but specifically in the field when it comes to energy.
You can't buy experience. And who would have thought in T20 cricket we'll be seeing guys playing 400 plus games? Sure. It's crazy to think how T20 has come a long way. But again, I think the wealth of experience that he brings from all these tournaments around the world to South African cricket, and also, I mean, obviously the Chennai Super King, Joburg Super King family. I mean, you be playing, you know, you're playing with likes of Dhoni. That's important to play with the likes of Virat Kohli, and it's wealth of experience that South African players, young players, will be getting from that change. So credit to him for sticking this long. They're probably chasing Imran Tahir to 45.
Yes. Well, credit to Faf du Plessis. Well, from our analysts giving a nice message to Faf du Plessis, over to the Joburg Super Kings players. Let's hear a word from them with their shout out, and then right after that, we're going to a quick ad break.
Faf du Plessis has always been the fashion police whenever we've been in the teams. And I think not only in the South African team, I think worldwide people know that he's a guy that loves fashion, and he's definitely going to be on you if you're wearing something nonsense.
One word I think when I think of Faf is flair. I mean, if you look at his tattoos, his dress code, he's always looking so good. His hair's always in the right place. And then that translates into his cricket. I mean, he's so pedantic about his different stances, about how he wants to go about things.
We're not just teammates, we're friends. He's like an elder brother, and obviously one of the best captains that I've worked with.
But as a coach now, working with him, he's certainly the most professional guy I've ever worked with. Not only in how he treats other players as a captain, also his leadership.
Great leader that he is, an example that he sets to everyone around him. I think he's very chilled. I think if you look at the individual that is on the field, the competitiveness and the hyped up individual that he is, where at home if he can sit and have a glass of red wine and have a nice braai with his friends around him and family, I think that's the best place for him that he can be. I think he's taken up paddle quite seriously at the moment.
Faf's not a bad paddle player. Myself and Elias play against Faf and Moeen Ali. It's a competitive match. He's obviously a very fierce competitor, but we enjoy playing alongside. So Faf, see you on the paddle court.
It's quite hard to read Faf's emotions. I'm not going to answer that question why, but I'm sure everyone knows why. You know, he doesn't really express it on his face, so you need to ask him if you want to know how he's feeling, because you can't really see.
As we know from this number, a lot of T20 cricket all the way around the world, and that takes a lot of quality within his game.
I think it's a great thing for him and what he achieved, and I just want to congratulate him and for achieving this.
There's not many people that have achieved this achievement in their careers. I think it shows how much dedication he puts not only into his body, but as a player, you know, as a batsman, as a leader, as a captain, you know, that longevity to play 400 T20 fixtures is an incredible feat. So yeah, it's great to share the field with him. He's obviously gained a lot of experience over the years, and yeah, he's a really nice guy to play alongside, and I thoroughly enjoy opening the batting with him.
Incredible.
Flair,
Fashionable.
Faf, you fashion police. Well done on your 400th game.
Straight to the fielder. This is a great start by the Pretoria Capitals. Fielder didn't even move a muscle. He has swept well today. This time, straight to the fielder. Slow and short delivery. Oh, that's a beauty. That is a magnificent catch.
Lovely catch. Heinrich Klaasen takes a good catch, diving to his right-hand side. What a wicket. It's Rutardi. Catch it. And the Colours. The ball on top yet again.
That's well played.
You can't do
Welcome back. SA20 keeps bringing those incredible catches, and that's what we love seeing, right?
It's been incredible. As they look, it's been the quality of the field in the cricket, what it brings. It's been, like you said, it's been really great. I've been at the airport the other day, and the guy's like, "What's happening? The cricket is so awesome, you know." But that's what you want from this tournament, and it's going to bring more fans, more kids, everyone.
We've been seeing the stadiums filled up to capacity, and I loved what I saw in PE, Gqeberha rather, and how the spectators and the fans had their phones, lights on, and it was beautiful to see, right, Don?
Yeah, it is. I mean, probably the best lights in the country as well. You can switch them off and you bring them on, and people can put their cell phones, lights on. And I think that's obviously the future of cricket, where it's going fans interaction. I think it doesn't get any better than Gqeberha, St. George's Park, and of course the Orange Army has been second to none in terms of making that a home fortress for Sunrisers Eastern Cape, and I think it's going to go from strength to strength. You probably need to grow these South African stadiums now, because cricket is really back into where probably when Henry started many years ago, and it's really exciting for cricket to be in the forefront of things.
Orange Army are backing, obviously, the team because they're winning.
I can imagine Adam Markham would want to take buses and bring that crowd to wherever they are playing. The vibe, look, again, I've played there where it was full. It is the best vibe in South Africa, the atmosphere. If you have that as your 12th man, look, it's nice. As a team, as a home team, it's probably one of the best environments that you ever play.
Yes. Durban Super Giants. On the other side, the spectators aren't coming to the stadium because they're not winning games.
And again, in South Africa, if you don't perform, people are going to stay away in all sports. They've been good, decent, the spectators. The cricket hasn't been what they expected, especially being a finalist last year to where they are now. It's like a complete turnaround.
What's happening with this team?
I think, first of all, you think about teams that make home advantage, like, Paul Royals. You feel that in Durban, first of all, the biggest issue that you deal with is that you're not guaranteed home games. And it breaks your momentum for starters. You don't get a run of games where you're at least at home, because they played most of their games at home. I think they're already done with their home games, which really does make it difficult for them. It's a stop-start playing at home. And I think the difficulty now is about trying to find form away from home. And at times, we've seen in Joburg, there's been a lot of rain. Pretoria's been a lot of rain as well. But again, it's how do you find these combinations for me? And if your warm-up games can help, hopefully it's great. But then you start using some of the games to kind of continue that momentum. But you can see, we've seen a lot of changes. And you feel, because it's been a stop-start, they're always searching for these combinations.
And combinations are so key, because we see Quentin de Kock coming in at number 4, and he should be playing at a different position.
100%. Quentin de Kock is probably our best T20 opening batter over the last 15 years. He is unbelievable. And you mentioned, obviously, with the Durban Super Giants, they've lost 2 games when it comes to rain. One in Durban, conditions-wise, it always turns into it. Back in the day, it used to be quick. Now, it's a spinner's paradise. But I think the big thing was Queen not batting at the top of the order. They haven't had a proper partnership or foundation set. I think it was one game which they won. Now the others, they lost wickets quickly. And obviously, you pick a team, the squads, when you have turners, spinners. Guys, other teams do the same thing. They come there with different type of bowlers, or well, similar mystery bowlers as well. And for the Durban team, it's backfired basically.
Klaasen, on the other hand, he is an explosive batter, but we're not really seeing him come through in this tournament so far.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing a stat where in his last 20 innings, they only had 150. And just over the weekend, he scored his second 50. And for such an important player, I mean, that's not a record I think he will also know. I mean, it's someone who's a massive player. When he's really in form, doing really well, we know how he can turn any innings around. And I think for South Africa's as well, point of view, looking forward to Champions Trophy is really important that he gets into form now. But the importance of him, I think, has been pretty clear in terms of what he offers. They haven't really found the right place because, again, he's been part of the guys that he's been moved to 3, he's been moved to 4, also batted at 6, haven't really found a position for him.
But where should he come in?
I think that's a big thing, where he bats, because the last couple of 2 years, they've seen him as a finisher. He's not just a finisher. It's a proper batter. He showed the other day, if he gives himself time to get in, he can demolish any bowling attack. And a lot of times you get labeled, okay, no, you must do this, you must do this. And he's not. He's just too good a batter to say you must go bat 6, you must go finish the game. I would bring him in as early as I can.
Yeah. But also the conversation about being a flexible batter comes in, right? It's important for you to adjust your game as and when it is needed.
100% agree, but at the same time, you want to give your best players as many balls as possible. Quentin de Kock, Hendrik Klaasen must face as many deliveries as they can because they're good enough to adapt to any situation. And you don't want to be leaving them with 10 balls. Yes, they maximize those 10 balls, but then it's what if we gave them more?
Or you don't want to bring them in at 30 for 4.
Yes.
Because now you got to change your game. You can't play like how you want to play. You got to take time, you bat yourself into a rut, and then it's a different ball game as well. And it's not the easiest conditions when you look at, say, for instance, a Paul or a Durban, Kingsmead, where you're 4 wickets down after 6, you're going to be under pressure. Where if you have wickets in hand, that's where the beauty of batting comes in again. Where you have to have your foundation, you have to have your partners at the top. Then it's easier to bat. That's what they haven't gotten right this season.
Let's transition into the bowling, spin bowling to be exact. There's a mystery bowler who's been just causing havoc to the South African batters. Mujib, we need to speak about him.
Yeah, and as a South African, can we maybe adopt him?
We need to.
We did the same with Imran Taye. We brought him in. He's a South African now. I think Mujib, because he's not even going to Champions Trophy. And that, for me, it's crazy. But the mystery that he's brought, it's been really difficult to face. And I like the fact that now he's also bowls in the power play. Because it's a harder ball, newer ball, skids a lot quicker. And it does make things difficult, and you add this carom ball. So he's a fantastic bowler. And for me, his addition, but it just shows you the depth of Afghanistan cricket. But we can't also forget Noor. These guys are just bamboozling South African batters. Absolutely fantastic. And again, South African players can learn how to play these guys, and hopefully we can grow that skill set as well.
How do you even prepare players to be able to perform well against such spin bowlers?
It's facing it. Some of the guys, you've got the opportunity to train with him, and hopefully you can gain how it comes out, because I think if you're reading it off the surface, you're already late for me. You've got to try as much as you can to be picking it from the hand. You give yourself an early start, and it just shows you how fantastic he's been.
Henry, it's in the fingers, isn't it?
It's in the fingers, but again, after that, it's in the batters' heads as well. I think that's the tough part for you. And I think the bigger thing also is, like, if you have these spinners now, if you look at India, what the IPL has done for them. Now you see young kids doing this in the streets, and that's how they develop. That's in the next 3 years, I'm sure we'll have someone that can bring that to our cricket as well. And they've been exceptional. It just brings something different to cricket. We love to see 220s on the board, but now we're watching cricket. You have to do the simple things very good. You need to be strong in your foundation and bat properly. You can't just come in and play shots with these guys, because you're going to be watching cricket outside.
But we also see some talent, even if Ngaba Peter has been getting opportunities to play. But he's also some talent that we love seeing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've got our own mystery bowlers or leg spinners that we would like to expose to this tournament. And obviously, his growth is very important. Imran Taher was the guy that's really changed the way South Africa in white ball cricket played. Shamsi followed that up. I think what's important now is guys like Ngaba Peter to also continue to grow. Learn as much as we can from these guys around. Have these conversations. Certainly will serve us well in the future.
Talking about learning and growing, there are young ladies who are in Malaysia at the moment, part of the Under-19 World Cup, and they've been playing exceptionally well, but they haven't been having full games. Henry?
Yeah, the weather hasn't been great. You saw obviously they're playing in one place as well, so with the amount of rain that falls there, so it's tough, to get into rhythm. What's good, that has been good for South Africa is the girls have been winning, and you can see this lovely talent coming through, bowlers, quick bowlers, wicket keeping, good skills, girls at the top of the order can hit the ball, and that's where cricket is going, and again, because it's on TV, young girls, boys, whoever, they see it's being played, and now that's just, I want to be there one day, and that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, Malaysia is like in Durban on steroids. The amount of rain that you get can be crazy. But I think what we've been lucky as South Africans is that the games have actually been played. I think as well, adapting quickly, because if it's a 10-over game, you have to adapt as quickly as possible. And I think they've certainly done that really well in this tournament. And again, I think it's exciting to see how the Under-19 team is coming along. It's a really lot of talent. But if we could win this one, the Under-19 boys did it many years ago, and it would be really good for South Africa. Also, we get this Under-19 women's side also doing well for us and winning this World Cup. It's looking good at the moment. We hope that it carries on and rain, which is sometimes is a South African's, I'm sure Polly and Makaya could say something about rain.
Hey, don't mention that. Net run rate is a bit of an issue, right?
Yeah, rain must stay away and continue in this fine form that they're in.
Yeah, but hopefully they'll be able to perform well and replicate what the team, Kagiso Rabada and Aiden Makram were able to do, like you said.
Still our only World Cup, eh?
There'll be more. I've got a lot of faith in it, especially to see where our cricket is. Women's cricket, the girls, our cricket with Betway SA20, I'm 100% sure there will be a trophy.
Speaking about trophy, which team are you rooting for in this Betway SA20? I'm going to put you on the spot. I want to hear a name.
I said cricket, so I'm going to give you a name. I'm going to say my Cape Town.
Cape Town?
Because look, the way they've been playing, I think they've been very strong at the top of the order. Their lower order has also saved them a lot, and the bowlers are coming into form. Rashid Khan is stronger in the beginning.
Yeah.
He's getting rhythm. He's experienced, good captain as well. He brings you a lot.
So you're going with my Cape Town, and Nono, what are you going for?
I think Sunrisers have become really dangerous again, peaking at the right time, but I would love to have a different winner this year. MI, for me, if they can win, just change it up. I mean, now telling us to go to, home of cricket, someone else. JSK, I'm going to just throw a spanner in.
It's got to be Joburg. It's got to be Joburg.
Wow. Of course, Joburg. But I won't be choosing any particular team. I will stick with cricket. But it's done and dusted for me and the guys in studio. Henry, thank you so much for joining me. And of course, Nono Pongolo, Diabulela. So we're wrapping things up and continue to watch and support the Betway SA20 because there's definitely more games coming your way. And so from me and the boys, it's goodbye.
Oh, that's gone a long way. Oh, what a shot. That is fantastic. Oh, what a shot. Vintage Quinton de Kock just picked up off the legs for 6 more.
Look at that. Could be the shot of the tournament. Majestic. That's out of the middle. That's been dispatched into the stand.
Shows how strong he is leg side.
Has he got that? Has he got that? Yeah, that is big. What a way to bring up 50.
That is mammoth. Klassen has a ray, folks.
Oh, now he's powered it, and that's the end of that. If you want to get a job done, ask a busy man.
That's a huge hit.
Oh, that's an absolute cracker.